Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Was messing around with some of the stuff. I decided to blur the background because why the hell not? It's fun to black everything out because, yeah, my hand is blurry. Okay, yeah. Gotta turn my notifications down here. Okay, now, it's. I know everybody's making their way down here or whatever and whatnot, but first of all, gotta pop open a drink here. And yeah, I'm good now. And yes, I will be watching the comments in this live just like I do all the time. Today, I wanted to talk about Trump and his comment this week about people are saying he should be a dictator. Now, my big question right now is, are we talking about him being a dictator or a dictator? Like, unilateral uh, guy in charge? I'm not going for the guy in charge so much. I mean, the guy's less intelligent than a potato at this point. And thank you for the one person watching me. Hello to everybody. Hello to everybody. Yes, again, I am the skeptical Scotsman, and it's time to lambaste a little political stuff here. And in case you guys are wondering, if you guys want to hear about uh, any particular subject, you guys need to comment. That's just how that works. You want me to cover something? I cover it, especially my subscribers. Um, I will be doing a short TikTok tonight, but because I don't like the vitriol in the TikTok community because you have people who troll and like as some of you well know, when I was doing a live TikTok at one point. Somebody asked me to say something which I stupidly said out loud instead of just reading it, and then that same person reported my video, got reported my live, and cut into that. So yeah, I'm not doing that crap anymore. That's why, with all these trolls running around being little shits, like why are they there? Because they are allowed to be there, and because they subvert the rules. So screw them. But I've heard it over the past two. I've heard this information over the past 2 weeks that um, a group of people is trying to get Trump's visage on Rushmore. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's in that pantheon of presidents yet. The people who think he's in the pantheon of presidents like that also cover their ears with a tampon in solidarity of him getting shot in the ear. Funnily enough, how he got shot in the ear, but yet they had it choreographed so that he was down long enough and they let him do all this other crap while he right after he got shot. But they had time to show the cameraman exactly where to be, then lower the flag for a good photo op, then move them again for another photo op, and then they slowly rush him out. Now, admittedly, I was really young back then, but when Reagan was shot at, they made sure he was safe. The gunner was fucking on the ground, and they rushed Reagan out of the area. Sorry about the burp. But to spend, like, the video I've seen is 3 minutes long. From the moment he gets shot to the moment he finally gets off stage, there is more than a minute in that. Now, These same tampon wearing idiots are calling for a bill, and one's actually been introduced to put Trump on Mount Rushmore. This self-aggrandizing wannabe dictator wants his visage up on that rock. Number one, there might be enough room for another face. The issue is, I don't think it should be him. I don't think I think it's Jefferson, Roosevelt, Lincoln, and Washington. I believe are all up there. Do I believe Trump is in that pantheon? Hails to the no. If we're going to choose a modern pantheonic leader, put FDR up there. Yes, that would mean we have two Roosevelts on there, but those two Roosevelts helped change the nation for the better, whether you like it or not. This is and this is the part where when I saw the news report on it, and I seen this small group of people that they chose to interview, and these people are like, "Yeah, he needs to be up on there." No, he hasn't done anything to actually help. All this aggrandization and all this pomp and circumstance, what has he done that's positively affected the country? One fucking thing is all I want to hear. One damn thing. One. And most conservative Republicans can't come up with that. Who do I think needs to be on Mount Rushmore? FDR. Sorry if my camera went blank for a second. But if I'm not allowed to vote for FDR to be on Mount Rushmore, then out of the other modern presidents, I would have to say Barack Obama. Because he literally took a national economy that was in a fucking toxic dumpster fire and turned it around despite Congress. Like, he worked totally against Congress and got us out of that dumpster fire, for lack of a better word, of the country that we were in. Like, I remember when jobs dried up, like here, Boeing laid off most of its workers. Just like I was doing some research tonight, redid the COVID thing. And I know COVID is a controversial subject, but I don't care. That's what I cover as controversial shit. What annoys me is the big deal that the news made out of COVID. Well, deaths have gone up 14%. 2 people died out of 300 people died, and then 2 more died. That's not 14%. It's not even close to the 14% of 300. The numbers were skewed off. I actually had to look it up, and the correlation is deafening. But I also have a legitimate gripe about that, too. Trump was president, and Trump was saying, "Oh, it'll go away." The thing I noticed back then, though, is that the people who should have been quarantining, the old and the immunocompromised, didn't stay home at all. Like, you've got 80 and 90-year-old people, well, I want to go outside. No, you can stay the fuck indoors. You stayed at a job for 50 fucking years. Now you're enjoying retirement. Stay indoors or stay at a stay at some places isolated, like a golf club or some place. They didn't want to do that. It's all this, well, I want to enjoy my golden years. You're 80 or 90. You're going to be dead in 5 years anyway. And yes, I know that's a controversial subject, but remember, I had grandparents that age, and they didn't go out. They did what they were supposed to do. They stayed the fuck at home and didn't go out visiting everybody, because while I'm bored, well, you were bored the last 60 fucking years of your life. Like, my grandfather died. He reinforced the work ethic that my mom had already taught us kids, is you work hard and you will get farther. She worked and stayed at a job she fucking hated. I mean, she fucking hated her job. but she stuck it out. And my grandpa died when I finally got old enough to understand that he worked. He retired when I was 16. To put that in perspective, I was born in 1980. He retired in 1996. And back then they told him, retire or lose everything. And for a guy who'd been working more than 40 years, probably working the better part of 50 years, he retired. He'd been living off retirement forever, like since 1996. He'd been living on retirement. He was living on retirement for close to 20 years. And yes, he was like 90, 95 years old. He was old. But the man you didn't question the man. When he spoke, you fucking listened and did what he said. But he stayed at home during COVID. He didn't go out. It's okay if you're a few seconds behind. It's all right. It's all good. But with COVID, all the research I did, and I did a shitload of research during COVID about COVID, every aspect of it. And the thing that pisses me off is we shut down an entire country to save a bunch of old geriatrics. Now, I get the whole sentimentality. Well, my grandpa wanted to enjoy life, and he can't do that with staying indoors for 2 goddamn weeks was too much to ask. Would your grandparents come over if you had chickenpox? Fuck no, they don't want shingles. And yes, shingles has been around for a while for the elderly. So anybody stating that shingles didn't exist for old people, yes, it did. They just didn't talk about it because, yeah, you're talking like World War II veterans and shit. They didn't bitch and moan about things we do. Yeah, that hat's getting a little pink-headed here. But my grandpa didn't complain about too much of anything. He just went about his business. But all these old people, like even during COVID, you've got a bunch of old people who were easily coerced into giving their money away for things they thought were going to bring. You're 80 or 90 years old. You don't need to invest in shit. Keep your money, stay in fucking retirement, stay there, and stay out of the way. You want to go visit your kids? Call them. That way they're prepared for you to come over. Other than that, stay the hell in the retirement home and go golfing and play shuffleboard. For all of you widows and widowers, have some sex. If you get an STD, you're 80 or 90 years old. No harm, no foul at that point. Yeah. People, what are you going to do? Die? Die earlier? But the real tragedy for me was the fact that all these old people were told, we were told as an entire country to sit and be in our homes for 2 fucking weeks. Well, us poor people couldn't do that. We couldn't afford to stay at home. And I know there's a lot of recidivism or a lot of angst because a lot of old people are like, well, we want to go places. Well, tough shit. You stay in a place for 2 weeks. It's all over. They didn't want to. It's, I gotta go to church. I gotta meet my friends. We have a routine that we built over the past 30 years because you've been retired that long. Well, you got to change your routine. You cannot be an ass. You can, but it's unfair. Like everybody who was at low risk for COVID should have been out and about doing their business. The people who are high risk, the elderly and immunocompromised, stay at home for 2 goddamn weeks. How hard is that? Personally, I would have made it like a month. A month to be safe, and then you can go about doing whatever the hell you want. You can get out. Don't need to worry about that. Nobody did it. Now, going back to Trump. When Trump is at the office is saying a lot of people are starting to tell me they'd like for me to be a dictator. Show me the fucking comments. Show the receipts for that shit. I'm sorry. If people aren't telling you you'd make a great dictator, you're hearing that in your head. You're listening to people who don't fucking matter tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you, oh, you do this great, you do that great. No, you wouldn't. You're a fucking sap sorry ass loser. Sorry, I'm gonna check my phone to see who's active and who's still dead. But yeah, um, and if you want to participate with me in this live, please, I will post a link. Like here. Okay, now that's done. Okay, sorry, I had to throw it out there. If you want to join and enjoy this live podcast along with me, go ahead. If not, I get it. I understand. But let me reiterate, people, that I've been doing this podcast I did it under the name The Carl Experience for years. Got tired of that crap because it sounded like the Joe Rogan Experience, because the Carl Experience, Joe Rogan Experience, it seemed like a little bit of whitewashing, so I got rid of that shit, and I decided to go my own route, which is why I made the Sceptical Scotsman. The name Sceptical Scotsman is funny on at least 3 levels, if not many more than that. It's ironic because I've had people tell me, "Well, you're going with the 1400s version of Skeptical, which is a Scottish version of it." Two fucks I didn't give. If it is, great. I'm glad you did that digging. It's a play on a word. That's it. Because most people say that's the Sceptical Scotsman. No, it's the Skeptical. I'm skeptical a lot. I was taught by my parents to think, and that's what I did. I think a lot about stuff I probably shouldn't. But now I know I've got one viewer. I know everybody else is going to tell me they're busy because it's 6:40 at night. That's all right. Here in a bit I'll have to help start up another live stream and whatnot because, yeah, I got somebody who wants to know some stuff, so I'm going to do that. But I don't see Trump as a dictator. I see him as a dick. Tater, the person. Now, I understand he wants to do things, and what's sadder is that now I read a story about Collier wanting to make it harder for people to vote because he wants to do this, that, and the other. And people are here. And here's what I don't get locally. Robert brought this up to me earlier today, and I had to pundit punch him in the balls for it. He comes up, well, they're trying to make sure that the voter ID, that you having your voter ID is a nationwide thing. Okay, and? Well, not all the states are going to like it. Okay, you tortilla stuffed turd, or turd stuffed tortilla. I've been voting since I've been able to vote since 1997. Didn't actually kick in until mid 1998. Knowing that, and knowing since then you've had to show your ID to vote here in Wichita, Kansas. This means it's not a foreign idea. That's 26, 27 years of showing my ID to be able to vote. It's a normal thing here now. When people are like, well, we shouldn't have to have ID. They're verifying who the fuck you are. It's literally not. This is before any of our extremist right-winger, evangelical Christian fucknuts or had anything to do with what's going on now. This was in place before all those assholes even graduated college. They weren't even allowed to be in the government at that point. You had a bunch of middle-aged men running things, and they decided at some point to make it a requirement to have your ID. So we have ID verification. You say your name and your address, and boom, you're done. Whoop-de-doo. And in those places we're saying that's wrong, it's a one-step thing. How is that hard? I'm not saying that it's right in all circumstances, but here we've been doing it for longer than like Chris Kobach, one of our fucking idiots. He's an attorney general of Kansas. He has stated that we need this and we need more strict. We need to have more safeguard. No, we don't. They flip out an ID. They're on the register. You vote. For people who say we need a two-step system, number one, go fuck yourselves. And number two, if I'm not the person with that with the name on their ID, and I can't rip out my own Social Security number, because I've had election officials ask me my Social Security number, and I've typed it out on my phone and showed it to them, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I am that person. What's your address, please?" Throw it out there, and okay, so boom, that's a double system right there, a double check on it. If I don't know my name, my Social Security number, or my address, should I be voting? No. I'm not trying to be draconic and take voting rights away from other people. What I'm trying to do is simplify the look of it. Like if somebody, when you get asked your name and your address when you go to vote, you present your ID, you say those two things, bam, you're in. No problem, and no questions asked. I'm watching you on my TV, but commenting on my phone. Good job, Lucky. I know I must look weird, giant size, right? And yes, the screen is blurred on purpose. I wanted to do something different. And anyway. What I'm trying to figure out is why there's this rush and this rage. Well, we can't have illegal aliens voting in our elections. Illegals aren't allowed to vote here anyway. They're not registered to vote. They cannot register to vote, and they are not allowed to vote at all until they are citizens. If they don't ever become citizens, they don't ever vote. Even though, like, all the old people who are easily swindled out of their money and then bitch about, well, I got swindled by this phone bird. Okay, remember, criminals exist. Your money is not safe until you spend it or you're dead. One of those two things. With that inability to detect bullshit comes a certain amount of soft-mindedness, and politicians, especially Trump, are all like, well, we're going to bring the good old days. But what good old fucking days? Well, we're going to bring back the days of your youth. Some of these motherfuckers were born in the 30s. I don't want to go back to segregation. I don't want to go back to, you could literally fucking kill your wife beating the shit out of her in your front yard while the cops watched and smoked a cigarette. They would see your wife running out, and because you didn't have your dinner cooked the exact way you wanted it, you couldn't have that prime rib at exactly 63 degrees Celsius. You beat the shit out of her until she was dead in your lawn. Fuck you. We don't need that era back. What we need is progress. We don't live in the days of World War II anymore. We've moved many, many decades past that. And for those people saying, well, I lived in a simpler time, yeah. And the Earth's population was half if not a quarter of what it is now. You didn't have 8 billion people living on it, and everybody trying to be their own fucking boss. Mega corporations were trying to pollute every goddamn thing on the planet. And all that. I mean, we're just on fucking consummation overload. And it's disturbing. And then you have Trump, to understand the pathology of Trump right now, Trump has never had to do anything on his own. He's bullied, cajoled, threatened people's livelihoods and reputations. But has he actually done anything that was constructive? No. His marriages were a fucking business proposition. Marry me, you'll be rich. But you have to sign a prenup because you don't get that to be that rich. You don't get to be richer than me. I'm not dividing my empire with you. And yeah, at this point, when I see people, when I watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of TikTok videos where people get walked up to and asked if Trump should do blah, 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 or release the Epstein files. Everybody wants to see the Epstein files. We know Trump is on the Epstein list. We know Clinton is on it. We know a lot of people are on those lists. And Ghislaine Maxwell says, oh, he didn't do anything inappropriate in front of me. We already know you lied. You committed perjury. You're in jail. You got switched to a minimum security jail. That way you could openly talk about what happened, not in real life. We know you're lying because I know you're lying personally because you want a pardon. If you get a pardon, you don't have to worry about anything. Because then you just shut your mouth, make a lot of people will pay you for a whole lot of stuff, and that's it. Hello, second viewer, whoever the fuck you are. Welcome to the shit show. Yeah, I know. That was over the top. It was meant to be. But yeah, things are stranger than ever. The president apparently thinks he's going to be a dictator. I'm not sure how that's supposed to work out for him, though, when he can barely do anything as a president. Sorry, I had to check up on an answer. I don't know who the second viewer is, but if you want to join a panel, I threw out the link. I can throw it out again if you need. I'm not begging. I'm just, if you want to participate, asked to be thrown in, we can do that. But I actually wanted to go through a really funny list. If I can find the picture I took. Only takes me a second. Because I know roughly where that is. Because I took some funny ass pictures here. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm going to give off some names. If I can figure out the first one. Okay, I've got some names that y'all are going to love this. Because I went ahead, I was watching a video where this Asian lady is saying stuff, so I went ahead and screenshotted some shit. These are the names so far that are ascribed to our felon in chief. Let me read yours out. Yes, I'm old. Fuck off. I know I'm old. But I'm still working and doing quite well. And I have a podcast, so... Okay, I can read better now. Okay. Melon Felon. The Phanta Menace. Commander of Queefs. the Turdinator, Cockwomble, Ginger Shit, Ginger Shitweasel. I'm sorry, that was funny as hell. God Emperor Darth Cheeto, Ayatollah Kofefe, Trumple Thinskin, the Count of Mostly Crisco, Napoleon Bonaspurs, Phony Soprano, El Crapitan, Spray Tan Satan, Piggy Smalls, Kaiser Kumquat, Captain Cankles, the Tangerine Wank Maggot, Cheetolini, Sherbert Pervert, Commander Scamalot, Orange Walloper, Diddler on the Roof, Danger Yan, the Manchurian Cantaloupe, Tangerine Twat Waffle, Dementia Dawn, Kim Jong Il, Meta Mussolini, Ginger Shitweasel, Cheeto Benito, Lord of the Lies, the Philandering Mandarin, the Coppertone Caligula, Emperor Hero Cheeto, Dick a la Orange, Tiny Hands McGee, Orange Julius Caesar, Tangerine Palpatine, Teeny Weeny Mushroom Peony, and one of my personal favorites, Velveeta Voldemort. And who bumped up? Oh, great. Another thing from Amazon Prime. Yay, I don't care. My phone is being slow and ignorant, much like Velveeta Voldemort or Cheeto Miss Crisp Pants. Another point I would like to make is that all the people that Trump has pardoned are mainly guilty of the financial crimes he himself is guilty of. The problem is nobody's going to go after him because he is the president. That's what happens when your emperor spams a lot. And yeah, it is rather tragic, but we all deal with Sir Cankles and his incredible rodent show, misanthropic misanthropes, maybe you call it. But the fact that he's trying to get himself nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, even though he doesn't deserve one, because the 6 wars that he has helped broker peace on and end are not actually over. They're still alive and well. Israel and Palestine, well, Palestine's more a community than it is a state. And I don't agree with them making it a 2-state solution because Israel is its own ethnic group and Palestine is not. People can dislike me for it. I don't care. I've already done a podcast on the Palestinians. I devoted like an hour and a half to that conversation, so I don't care. Damn it, my stream goes blank. But yeah, it's a little insane. This guy thinks he should get a Nobel Peace Prize. His face should go up on Mount Rushmore, and they're actually introducing bills to Congress to make that happen. I'm sorry, if anybody's face should go up there in recent memory without trying to impress a political party is FD fucking R. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. If you want to pick somebody who's non-political and more just for the good of country, ruling out Obama, of course, then you got no choice. You got to go with what's his name, Carter. You have to go with President Carter. He didn't have an agenda. He didn't like forcibly take things politically. He wanted what was best for the country, and he was decades ahead of his time. He was talking about green energy fucking decades before anybody else. And I mean fucking decades. I wasn't even born yet, and he was already fucking going green. He wanted everybody to live the green lifestyle, and God forbid coal and oil companies, they can't have that. They got their bank accounts need to be full flush and fucking brimming at the seams. Having said that, let me go check my shit here again. Because people be weirdos. See, I know Leslie is on here. I let a few more people know. Apparently, somebody fell the hell asleep. I don't know. I was waiting on more people, but I've been live for 36 minutes. It's not like I'm that worried about it. I check on a regular basis. Do I need the viewership? I don't even get paid to do this. That's another thing that annoys me about all these people who tell me, well, you go to this site and this site and this site. Those are all pay to play. I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it. I've been doing this podcasting, for lack of a better term, regularly and irregularly since 2019. Like at first I was doing it on Anchor exclusively, and now Anchor has changed everything, and I can't access but my demographical information. I can't make any money out of it, even though I haven't put anything on there in like 3 years because everybody wants you to pay to play their game. And like with TikTok, it's a dumpster fire, and fuck you, dumpster fires. I don't participate in that shit. That's like participating in a fucking mass shooting, knowing people are going to die. You can either stop it, or you're an accomplice. I would choose to stop it, even if it killed me, but that's just me. And for those well, you're not afraid to die? If I'm saving a lot of people, then no, it doesn't bother me that much, because they're doing what's right for the greater good. My daughter would be pissed off. My daughters would all be upset. Well, maybe not my oldest. She might be a bitch about it, but fuck it, I don't care. Like I've tried to tell my oldest child, I'm not you. I can't live your life. You have to live it. All I can do is advise you what to do, what might be right or wrong for you. If you don't agree with my views, I don't care. They're my views. That's why they're my views. Well, you need to do this, that, and the other. No, I don't. I don't have to follow your sociopathy. If that's the way you have to have it to be around you, I'm okay with being without you. At least I know you're out there. And yes, that covers multiple things at the same time. Everybody just went quiet all of a sudden. Now, just to let you guys know, I will be going to TikTok after I get done with this live stream. I will have to set it up. I will have to get everything set up for it. But yeah, I will be going live on my TikTok. I have to take care of one or two things before that. But I will be doing a TikTok on this exact thing. I'll probably run out of gas, which means it won't be as long a video or live stream. But I will be doing it there. That way I can get that out of the way. And I'm also going to create some more shorts tonight. That way I don't have to worry about anything. But I'm going to end it tonight because I got shit to take care of. Apparently, it seems like somebody needs my help. So I'm going to get off here and get ready to do TikTok. I will let I think it's going to be 20 or 30 minutes before I'm on TikTok. I'm hoping it's less, but I got to get stuff done. Love y'all. Stay thirsty, my friends, and go learn things. All right? No, that's not a request. Go learn things.